Hello, future CPAs. As always, we're going to take a difficult concept like bond accounting and break it out into step-by-step transactions. Bonds show up all throughout the FAR exam, both in MCQs and task-based simulation. So we're going to go through a full bond task-based simulation, and I'm going to explain to you my perspective how to solve it that led me to getting a 95 on the exam. And there are several core concepts that if you can master them, you master bonds. This includes finding the initial bond entry, and then calculating the interest expense and the amortization of your bond premium to see how the carrying value is going to change over time. So with that, let's jump in. The first thing we do with any task-based simulation is we first want to see what the answer options are like. That way we can filter the information that we are looking for. We see that we have to make the initial journal entry for the bond. So we'll have the debit cash, credit to bonds payable, and then a debit to a discount or a credit to a premium. So we see that we have this drop-down list of accounts, but all of the numbers are fill in the blank. And then we need to make the journal entries for the first payment of the bond. So this is going to involve the interest expense and the cash and the amortization. And then we have to say how much interest expense we have for June 30th, year 2, and also how much of the discount we're amortizing for June 30th, year 2. So basically we need to go all the way from the beginning to the middle of year 2 and see how the bond is changing. This is very standard for the kind of bond simulation you would find on the exam. The only additional element they might ask is if they have an early retirement of the bond, and you calculate a gain or a loss by comparing the cash you pay to the carrying value of the bond. All right, let's jump in. On January 1st, year 1, Regal Industries issued 6% 4-year bonds with a face value of $300,000. The bonds pay interest semi-annually on June 30th and December 31st of each year. The bonds were issued when the market interest rate was 8%, and the bond proceeds were $279,804. 6% is the stated rate, so this is what determines our cash payment. And 8% is the effective rate, aka the market rate, which is what we use for our interest expense and our present value calculations. Now the key early on is recognizing that this is a semi-annual bond. If you miss that, then you're going to get every single part of this question wrong. So because it's semi-annual, we need to cut the 6% stated rate in half, so that way we have a 3% stated rate, and then cut the market rate in half, so we have 4% market rate. We see that we have a discount because we are issuing the bond for less than $300,000. The other reason that tells us it's a discount is that the market rate is better than the stated rate. The market rate is what the average bond on the market is offering, stated is what we are offering. So if the market's offering a better rate than us, we then need to incentivize the bond purchasers by selling it at a price less than the face value. Do you want to master CPA topics like the one in this video? Our team of CPA tutors provide one-on-one personalized sessions to meet your needs. We've already helped over 1,500 students pass their exams, and we want to help you too. You can book a session here. Okay, so let's now dive into what our payments are going to be. So every 6 months, we're going to be paying 3% of $300,000. So we're going to have $9,000 in payments. Now our interest expense is always going to be the market rate times the carrying value of the bond. So the initial carrying value is $279,804, and we're going to be multiplying that by 4%, and that's going to be our interest expense for the first period. So let's first write out the initial bond issuance. So the amount of cash that we receive is how much we sell it for. So that's the present value of the bond. So that's the $279,804. And then the bond payable is always going to be the full face value of the bond. So this is $300,000 credit, because this is how much we have to pay back at the very end of this bond. And then we have a discount for the difference between these two. So we have a discount debit for $20,196. So there's our initial entry. Our initial carrying value is $279,804. So now that we've recorded the initial bond entry, let's analyze it a little bit. We're giving a stated rate of 6% for interest payments, whereas the market is giving 8%. So we're giving a worse rate than the market, so we had to issue our bond at a discount. So we credited bonds payable for the full face value of the bond, because at the end of this bond, we're going to have to pay back $300,000. But we sold it for less than $300,000 because it's at a discount for the $280,000. Therefore, we have this debit to discount of $20,000. Now let's get into our first payment. So we're 6 months into the bond. We're making the first semi-annual payment. Now the fixed part of every entry is going to be the cash, so we can always put in the cash. This is 3% of the $300,000 face value, so $9,000. The interest expense is going to be our carrying value times the market rate divided by 2. So our 279,804 times 4%. So that brings us to 11,192. And then the difference between these two of 2,192 is the amortization of our discount. So you can picture it like the discount causes the initial issuance price to be below 300,000. And now we're going to be reversing that out by crediting it, because we initially debited the discount and now we're going to credit it to slowly ease it out. That way we eventually end up at 300,000, the original face value. So now our updated carrying value, we had 279,804 plus this amortization of 2,192. So now the carrying value is 281,996. So it's going to increase each period until it gets all the way up to 300,000. So now that we've made this first interest payment, let's analyze the entry. First, we have to pay out cash every 6 months. It's going to be the same 9,000 every time because it's our 6% stated rate divided by 2, since it's semi-annual, times our 300,000 face value, resulting in the credit for 9,000 cash. And then the interest expense is going to change over time because it's based on our carrying value times our 4% semi-annual market rate. So here we have interest expense of around 11,000. The cash is 9,000. So then we're going to amortize our discount by the 2,000 difference. So the next part of the question asks about June 30th, year 2. But before we get to that, we need to calculate the December 31st, year 1. Even though it's not asking us, we need to see what the updated carrying value is. So for the end of the first year, we're going to still make the $9,000 cash payment. Our interest expense is going to be 4% of our updated carrying value of 281,996. So we have interest expense of 11,280, and then we're amortizing our discount for 2,280. So this increases the carrying value up to 284,276. And this allows us to get to June 30th, year 2. So now we have our updated carrying value of 284,276, and we multiply that by 4%, the market rate divided by 2, and that gives us our interest expense, which is 11,371. And then it wants to know how much of the discount are we amortizing. Well, we have the credit to cash for 9,000 and the debit to interest expense of 11,371. So the difference between those is how much we are amortizing it for. So 2,371. Trying to figure out whether you're ready for the FAR exam? Take our free 30-question baseline test, which shows you your 5 weakest areas and sends you concise video lessons and interactive practice apps to help you improve. And the best part, it's all for free. So try it out now. Now, when you're solving bond questions, sometimes people prefer to write out the entries, and sometimes they prefer an amortization schedule. So let's briefly walk through the amortization schedule. So you always start out with your beginning carrying value, 279,804. Your interest expense is simply that beginning carrying value times your 4% market rate. And then your cash payment is 3% of 300,000, so it's always going to be 9,000. And then your discount amortizes the difference between those two, which then increases the carrying value. So you can see how it changes all throughout the bond's life, and each 6 months the carrying value is slightly increasing. And you can see that at the very end of the 4 years, the carrying value goes back up to 300,000, which means we have amortized the entire amount of the discount, and now we're back at the very beginning face value, and then we'd simply pay back the bond face value of 300,000, so it'd be a credit to cash of 300,000, and then a debit to bonds payable of 300,000. So after having solved this bond task-based simulation, let's address the 5 main takeaways. First is that you should always check at the beginning whether you have annual payments or semi-annual payments, If you get this wrong at the beginning, all of your numbers are going to be wrong. Next is you need to compare your stated rate to your market rate. If your stated rate is less than market rate, you have a discount, and if it's better than the market rate, then you're going to have a premium. Next is calculating your interest expense. You take the carrying value times your market rate, which is your interest expense. Your cash payment is your stated rate times your face value, so this was 3% times 300,000. And then the difference between your cash paid and your interest expense is the amortization of your discount. So I hope this video has helped you to understand bonds just a little bit better. Thanks for watching.